Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, adopted by General Assembly Resolution 61-106 of December 13, 2006. Article 5. Equality and Non-Discrimination. 1. The participating states recognize that all persons are equal before and under the law and have the right to equal protection of the law and equal use of it without any discrimination. 2. The participating states shall prohibit any discrimination on the basis of disability and guarantee persons with disabilities equal and effective legal protection against discrimination on any ground. 3. In order to promote equality and eliminate discrimination, states parties shall take all appropriate steps to ensure reasonable accommodation. 4. Specific measures necessary to accelerate or achieve de facto equality of persons with disabilities shall not be considered discrimination within the meaning of this convention. Article 6. Women with disabilities. 1. States parties recognize that women with disabilities and girls with disabilities are subject to multiple discrimination and, in this regard, take measures to ensure their full and equal enjoyment of all human rights and fundamental freedoms. 2. States parties shall take all appropriate measures to ensure the full development, advancement and empowerment of women in order to guarantee them the exercise and realization of the human rights and fundamental freedoms enshrined in this convention. Article 7. Disabled children. 1. States parties shall take all necessary measures to ensure the full enjoyment by children with disabilities of all human rights and fundamental freedoms on an equal basis with other children. 2. In all actions with regard to children with disabilities, the highest interests of the child are given priority. 3. States parties shall ensure that children with disabilities have the right to freely express their views on all issues affecting them, which receive due weight, appropriate to their age and maturity, on an equal basis with other children and receive assistance appropriate to disability and age in the realization of this right. Article 8. Educational and educational work. 1. The participating states undertake to take urgent, effective and appropriate measures to A. To raise awareness of disability issues throughout society, including at the family level, and to strengthen respect for the rights and dignity of persons with disabilities. B. To combat stereotypes, prejudices and harmful practices against persons with disabilities, including on the basis of gender and age, in all spheres of life. C. Promote the potential and contributions of persons with disabilities. 2. The measures taken for this purpose include A. Launching and conducting effective public education campaigns designed to I. Foster sensitivity to the rights of persons with disabilities. E. To promote positive perceptions of persons with disabilities and a better understanding of them by society, i.e., promote recognition of the skills, virtues and abilities of persons with disabilities as well as their contributions in the workplace and in the labor market. B. Fostering respect for the rights of persons with disabilities at all levels of the education system, including all children from an early age. C. Encouraging all media outlets to portray persons with disabilities in a manner consistent with the purpose of this convention. D. Promotion of educational and awareness-raising programs on persons with disabilities and their rights. Article 9. Availability. 1. In order to enable persons with disabilities to lead an independent lifestyle and participate fully in all aspects of life, states parties shall take appropriate measures to ensure that persons with disabilities have access, on an equal basis with others, to the physical environment, to transport, to information and communications, including information and communication technologies and systems, as well as to other facilities and services open to or provided to the public, both in urban and rural areas. These measures, which include the identification and removal of obstacles and barriers to accessibility, should apply, in particular, A. To buildings, roads, transport and other internal and external facilities, including schools, residential buildings, medical facilities and workplaces. B. Information, communication and other services, including electronic services and emergency services. 2. States parties shall also take appropriate measures to A. Develop minimum standards and guidelines providing for the accessibility of facilities and services open or provided to the public, put them into effect and monitor their compliance. B. Ensure that private enterprises that offer facilities and services open or provided to the public take into account all aspects of accessibility for persons with disabilities. C. Provide instruction to all parties involved on accessibility issues faced by persons with disabilities. D. Equip buildings and other facilities open to the public with signs made in Braille and in an easy-to-read and understandable form. E. Provide various types of assistance and intermediary services, including guides, readers and professional sign language interpreters, to facilitate the accessibility of buildings and other facilities open to the public. F. Develop other appropriate forms of assistance and support for persons with disabilities that provide them with access to information. G. Promote access of persons with disabilities to new information and communication technologies and systems, including the Internet. H. Encourage the design, development, production and dissemination of inherently accessible information and communication technologies and systems, so that the availability of these technologies and systems is achieved at minimal cost.